What do I want to do and what I can do is two different things. If there was their fair shake, I would be world champion in the next couple of months. The 100% KO streak just sounds good. Jason Statham was ringside him to get on me and came up to me saying like, I love you, man.
Alexander Usyk.
Fight him next. Do you think I'm world champion by the end of 2025?
We expect massive things, don't we, from you? What's your goal this year? What do you want to do?
My job is just to get into the ring and fight. What do I want to do and what I can do is two different things. Hopefully get a world title by the end of the year. That's what I'm looking at. Should be nice.
People talking about the Tyson record. If that happens, it's got to be by the end of May. Does it bother you or not?
I don't want to be one of these people that's like, I said something, I'm not going to do it, of course. But there's a lot of things that I can't control. There's a lot of things that my punching can't solve. Politics and XYZ involved into this. And so with the Tyson record, with what I was just getting at, I just want to win a world title when people don't think I can do it. When I turned pro, a lot of people were saying, he might be a hype job, he was good amateur, but he's not going to be no good of a pro or whatnot. I think I'm starting to slowly like turn their minds over. People's opinions don't really matter to me, only because it doesn't help me in the fight. But at the same time, achieving that Mike Tyson record, it would be nice. Since I've turned professional, the world champions have been Tyson, Usyk and Dubois. And between them, they've had 7 fights. And Dubois only had 1 of them, so really Tyson and Usyk. And they've had 2 fights with each other. How was I able to turn pro and get into the mix in 2.5 years? That's something that I didn't know about when I first turned professional, so like, call it what you want, but I'm trying my best with this boxing game.
Well, you're trying very hard and very well so far. I mean, Prospect of the Year at the Ring Magazine Awards, a glamorous sort of ceremony in London. I mean, it doesn't get better than that for a young fighter.
Of course, and I feel like this is the point where even just saying that I want to achieve the Mike Tyson record has made me strive towards that. And even though I'm striving towards that, people are appreciating what I'm doing on the way to that.
The last couple of years since you've turned pro, you've put on some phenomenal performances and you put yourself right in the mix, really.
I've had some bad performances as well.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Which ones are you disappointed with?
The 2 fights that I went the distance. But I don't beat myself up about it because I just didn't know. It's only like now that I recently moved to Ben Davison, I've actually really like kind of got the wider aspect of boxing. I've learned a lot more. If I had this information when I was boxing these fighters, I know I would have had probably 100% KO streak. I forgive myself because I didn't know.
Why did you want that 100% KO streak? Is it like a Mike Tyson?
Sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah?
Just sounds good.
Just like ripping for everyone.
Just sounds good. Just imagine that you're standing there on the ring walk and it's like, for example, Better before he had the fight with Bivol, it's like 19 fights, 19 victories, all in the way of knockouts. Do you know what I mean? Like, come on.
You're Michael Buffer to say that about you, right?
No, it's not. It doesn't matter if it's Michael Buffer or anyone. It's just the fact that like you're standing there, like in front of your opponent, and you got a 100% KO streak. It's like, do you know what I mean? Like, don't mess with it a little bit. You know what I mean? These little mental challenges I go through. That's what keeps me winning. And then you lot are going, he's the best. He's this, he's that. He's smashing it. Only because I go through these little mental battles. Like the reason why people are saying like with the young prospect of the year and XYZ is because they appreciate what I've done. Whereas I don't look at what I've done. I'm looking at where I'm going. And where I'm going starts from today.
Do you like the comparisons to a young Mike Tyson or to somebody who's...
Personally, no.
No?
No, only because I'm on my own journey and I want to make my own career. The president, there's a Nigerian boxer called I can never say his name.
Ike
Ibuchi. Like, all his career is based off being a next Mike Tyson or an African Mike Tyson. Like, people don't actually appreciate like what he actually was. He was a monster. He was. I want to be an original. I don't want to be a copy of Mike Tyson. I don't want to be a copy of George Foreman. Obviously, I don't blame you for thinking that because you're always going to make that comparison. I want to set my own career, I want to set my own path.
What sets you apart, Moses, do you think, from the other heavyweights?
I think about this question so much. I don't really know. I feel like that's a question for me to ask you.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair enough. And when we were commentating on the Dempsey-McKean fight, Barry Jones and Darren Barker were saying what it was, what we think anyway, which is the speed, the judgment, the movement, the southpaw stance, the rhythm.
You can probably say there's a mixture of all that. That's probably what separates me. Like all the qualities you mentioned, I look at other fighters, I'm like, yeah, he's got that quality. Like I'm looking at Adji Caballero, he's got that punch selection. I'm looking at Justice Hooney, he's got that work rate. I'm looking at Alexander Usyk, he's got that southpawness, the intelligence. I'm looking at Tyson Fury, he's got that movement. That's why when you're saying what separates me from all the other heavyweights, like I struggle with that because it's like, it's not really just that one thing that separates me. It's a combination of everything.
Do you think you've taken almost something from all of them and you're blending it into your own style? You've got a great trainer in Ben Davis and you're obviously incredibly dedicated, but do you think that mixture, that blend is going to just mature and become Moses Itauma's style, which is hopefully for you going to be unstoppable?
That would be good. That would be good. But then, for example, Floyd Mayweather has his own style, but he took his style off all these other fighters. Like I said, I just want to be like an original.
Do you have a favourite fighter?
Do I have a favourite fighter? Growing up, I loved Naz. At the minute, I am a fan of a few, yeah. I like Shakur, I like Gervonta Davis. Funnily enough, yeah, I really like this one fighter called Gary Antoine Russell. I don't know why, yeah, there was something about his style which I liked. No disrespect to Gary Antoine Russell, but it is a little bit disrespectful for me to put him in the same bracket as Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson because they're obviously completely different fighters. I'm a fan of Usyk, Lomachenko for a long time. Joshua, when he was doing his thing, I can pick something from their work, you know?
I know you spar with so many, with Joe Joyce, with Okolie, with AJ, with Fury. I know you told me last time I spoke to you, you'd love to go and spend some time with Usyk.
I'd love to.
Do you think that would really bring you on?
Yeah. Do you know what's funny? Like, you can say Usyk's dominated this boxing game in the past couple of years, and he really has. When I was training with Tyson, the biggest lessons I've had was never in the ring. It was never in the ring, it was outside the ring. So when I say I want to go and spend some time with Usyk, it's not because of his boxing ability. Yeah, of course, like I want to know, like obviously inside the ring stuff. But it's more about outside the ring. How do you manage your money? How do you manage your relationships? What's going to happen if you upset this person and this and that? And I spoke to AJ exactly the same way. I haven't had the opportunity to ask him questions. He gave me a little bit of opinions and X, Y, Z, and like I like that because AJ had the whole Olympic route, national hero, X, Y, Z. Then you got Tyson Fury, who was kind of the underdog. He was a little bit hated at times when he obviously in the beginning of his career. He was a bit hated, and then now you got Usyk, who ain't even from this country, there's got no like ties to this country whatsoever, apart from keep beating these English fighters. And yeah, he's a superstar in the UK as well, so it would just be nice to just sit down and ask them questions because I'm a mixture of all of them. I am an England-raised fighter. I have an amateur pedigree, but not as good as Anthony Joshua. I've won the World Champions XYZ, but obviously Olympics is the pinnacle of the amateur game. Obviously Tyson Fury had an amateur career, but obviously not as stacked as AJ. So that's how I got the similarities with him. And then Usyk, born in Ukraine. I was born in Slovakia, which is the country next to Ukraine. And like Usyk's a hero in the UK. He can go and fight the O2 and sell it out, or he can go and fight at like A Arena and sell it out. So there's something that I can learn from Usyk as well. That's what I mean. Like I'm just blessed to be in this position, and like I said, I would love to sit down and have a conversation with him and share a ring with him, because like, he's one of the greats of this generation.
Usyk told me it was 99% dedication and 1% talent, which really surprised me because I think he's so talented.
Of course, I do obviously agree with that, but at the same time, it's a combination of all things. Because some people are talented, some people are dedicated to the sport, they're not consistent. Or I think the biggest factor is they're not confident in themselves, or they just ain't mentally prepared to be a boxer. I remember listening to a story. Yeah, there was a king. Yeah, and he was with his servants or whatnot, and he had obviously X amount of food and blah blah blah, and then they had like all women around him and XYZ. And then one of the servants said, oh, I'd love to know what it'd like to be in your position. And obviously the king has gone through all like this punishment, this pain to get to where he was. And then he was like, do you know what? Tomorrow I'm gonna let you sit in a chair. I'm gonna let you be a king. And now the servant is sitting in the chair, he's thinking, oh, life is so good. He's seeing like these bunch of beautiful women, loads of food, rule of everything. Then he looked up and there was a sword hanging above him on a piece of string. Basically, the king wanted to represent what it's like being the king. It means there you get to have all this, but it can all end any moment and you don't even know. And I feel like that is a little bit with boxing. We are known that the one that, like, look at Bacoli, was a dark horse. I look at him, everyone calling him a bum, everyone calling this. If even my brother, my brother that doesn't box, he sent in the group chat saying, oh look, the boogeyman's been taken care of. I was like, that's not fair. But that is just how boxing fans are. Bacoli got knocked out by Joseph Parker, and look, he's no longer the boogeyman. And I feel like mental is part of it, because I was on the treadmill before my last fight, and I was thinking to myself, I've had such a good camp, I've got good tactics, I've got confidence in my team and everything. I was like, I can still lose Saturday night just because I'm not here mentally. I can still lose in my fight just because I haven't got confidence in my ability, or I might go outside the ring and I might see like all these fighters that I grew up watching. Jason Statham was ringside in, like, at my fight to get on me and came up to see, saying like, oh, I love you, man, da da da. Being in front of all them people, you can get starstruck. So it is a lot mental also, because there's just more to boxing than what people think. I remember my pro debut, I was the most nervous for not tripping up on the way to the ring, or someone not throwing something at me, or not tripping over a wire, or like Derek Chisora, like, actually, maybe not mention that because it was a little bit embarrassing, but going up the stairs just to go to the ring, falling over, do you get what I mean? Like, there's just all like these madnesses you got to worry about on fight night, to make a fool out of yourself. And then obviously the ultimate thing is trying to not get hurt in front of all your family, friends, fans, supporters.
There's so much there. When are we going to see you back? We're going into March, within the next few weeks, and who would you like to face?
Look, looking at April, May, who would I like to face? Anyone really, maybe like Jermaine Franklin, Hergovich, they're also good names. And listen, I definitely want to be out by May. If I'm not out by May, I can give Charles Martin his odd little whooping.
Yeah, he's been speaking of it.
He's been talking far too much, but he is like the choices down the line.
How many fights this year?
3, 4.
And the politics and the boxing, that's the tough side for a fighter, right? You can't control that. You just got to do your job.
I can't control that.
Do you think you'll be world champion by the end of 2025?
Do you think I'm world champion by the end of 2025?
I think you've got a chance, depending on boxing politics and where the belts go.
Do you know what? Do you know what's so funny? That was my answer. I think it depends on the politics of boxing. If there was their fair shake, I feel like I would be, or I could be, world champion in the next couple months.
If they said to you, April, May, it's Dubois, or April, May, it's Usyk, you say immediately yes?
Of course.
No
I
questions.
would be silly not to take that, because I would end up in a better position taking that fight than if I didn't take that fight. If I win, I'm a world champion, I'll smash the records, I'm a millionaire, superstar, XYZ, yeah? And if I didn't take that fight, then I've still gone and tried it my best, I've gave him my all, and I can't imagine him, like, let's say if I was to lose the fight, to knock me out in the first couple of rounds, so I still go home with a little bit of honour.
Alexander Usyk, you want to spend time with because you want to improve, right? Get that education. Would you prefer to spend time with him in his training camp for his next fight, or fight him next?
Fight him next, then spend time with him.
You're 20 years old. How long are you going to be doing this? And if you could just wind forward, how would you like to be remembered?
I think I want to be remembered. How long do I want to be doing this? When I've fought everyone there is. There's no time limit on that. Once I've fought everyone there is.
Well, enjoy the ride.
Gracias.
Good seeing you.
Thank you.